If you could be fully at peace right now, completely 100% at peace, unconditionally, what do you think about that option? You might say, "Oh, give me a break, John. Come on. Are you kidding? With all of my problems and all of the problems and blah, blah, blah." Yeah, yeah, that's true when you have that perspective, that attitude, yeah. But what if you were free of the one who has attitudes in a way? So it's ironic to say attitude is everything, but it's everything in practice. How you see yourself, because a lot of what we're learning in practice is to bring consciousness, awareness, presence into the unconscious, into the relative conditioned programmed human mind, emotions, body, and all of its anatomical and structural functioning on all levels, right down to the atoms, the DNA, the cells completely. So when you're aware and you bring attention to your breathing and you're not controlling, energy and consciousness goes into your whole nervous system and starts to heal you and balance you and center you. That's what we're doing in these regular gatherings. And and we see over time that it really does support what we truly want within and without. So to know that we are programmed is helpful because then you begin to just drop the blame, the judgment, the should have, the could have, if only, and just say, this is the hand I was dealt. This is the programming I've had. How am I going to live my life fully? How am I going to have more and more moments of inner peace, fulfillment, even in simple little things, even just right here now? We have words that are symbolic triggers. Like for some people, it's work, going to work. I remember reading a statistic years ago that a high percentage of heart attacks happen at 8 o'clock on Monday morning when people are on going to work, when they've been on the weekend and now they have to go back to their alienated labor, which many people have. Not everybody, and people who are doing what they love doing are very fortunate, without question. But you got to feed yourself, your family, your kids, whatever, take care of yourself. And so there's these triggers like work or practice. Now, I use that word, and I bet some people hear that, and it's just like there's a reaction. So, what I want you to do, what I'm asking you to do, is begin to notice the words that trigger you, that cause your stomach to tighten up, or you to get, like some reaction in your body. How are you going to know that? By being mindful in your body. So, the practice that we're doing here, being more conscious in the body, will give you the biofeedback, the energetic feedback that you'll need to know when you've got a programmed word or concepts that, in a sense, are ripe for reframing. I like to call this flipping reality. I like it because flipping means it's just like it's a whole new world. Don't you have moments like that where one moment it is just, let's just say, what you don't want? And then I don't know what happens, things happen. All of a sudden, it's like oh, wait a minute, I'm in a it's a good place, right? And so how does that happen? Now, some people have taught throughout the millennia that just being aware of awareness in presence, which is here very much and fundamentally here, the consciousness, the transmission of the Dharma, as it were, the energy, the presence, all that stuff. Um, that's all you need. Well, those of us who've been slogging at it for a while have found out that it's a little more usually involved for most people to have it be balanced and integrated. So all you need to do is notice these words that trigger you, that maybe that you have an aversion to, I would say, right? Like maybe you have an aversion to being practical or impractical, or clutter. I don't know. I mean, it's like it could be simple things, but just notice how you react, even maybe to me, to what I'm saying or how I'm talking. So that you bring your attention within to that agitation in you rather than getting caught in the concept of whatever's triggering you or the person or the situation. That's it. And so when you begin to develop that, then when you come back and you open your eyes and you look around, then you can reframe and call it what works for you, what feels good to you. Like maybe instead of calling this practice, you call this is when I really give myself the attention I never get. This is my time rather than this is when I give attention to me rather than to everyone else and everything else. How about that? Now, some people think, oh, that's selfish, whatever. So that you begin to find the supportive way to guide yourself and to, in a sense, if you want to give it a name or a story, give it a fresh one that really is supportive and nurturing and healing. Because ultimately you're with yourself. How do you want to feel? I prefer being open and happy. I don't know. And sometimes you have to get angry and reactive and fight. Okay, do it. But that's just that. I'm not going to talk about all the possibilities of human experience and realities that we need. I'm going to give you a little more guidance just to balance out the talk. And I'm going to use a word that may trigger you and it may not, but it's a word that I'm going to reframe for you, and that is effort. Effort in practice. The effort in practice that works is the effort that has beginner's mind. A mind that is open, that is available, and does not have a preconceived idea about what's happening. It's also known as Zen mind. And in Zen, when they talk about right effort in practice, there's effort that has no self in it, no ego agenda in it. So ironically, it's effortless effort, but there is effort. There's just not a force of will. So let yourself just be here now and relax. Definitely deepening and becoming more present. Beautiful.